Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you have an amazing day. Happy Tuesday to you. When the days get kind of mixed up when you make all sorts of content like this. Now, this is a good opportunity to kind of look at what's going on here with XRP. I want to kind of talk about the stark reality of what could happen and the possibility that it may not happen, right? So long story short here, we got this fair value gap that's pretty significant all the way down to about 48 cents. Is it going to fill that low? The likelihood is fairly low, okay? And we'll talk about the reasons why that shouldn't be the case, but the bottom line is that's kind of like the elephant in the room. Okay, so trying to get too excited about today's increase, while I think it's warranted based on the overall amount of retracement we've seen, and it's concurrent with Bitcoin's little push upwards past 29,500, I don't think that it's less likely to be sustainable, and I'll explain more so what I mean by that here soon, with some key level supports and resistances. So if you are new to the channel, I appreciate you watching. Hopefully you have learned a lot in the past. If you are a return viewer, thank you so much again for all of your continued support. Been getting some awesome feedback lately on some signals that we've been sending out. And just to touch on that too, we took some healthy profits, 84% from API 3 in 8 hours. That was a couple of days ago. With Bake here recently, we took 29%, roughly 12 hours. That was yesterday. And then today, we pinged up to a good little 22% in 5 days from OMG. We got a few others that are super, super close to take profit targets. So awesome swing trades, been a lot of fun, and appreciate, again, the wonderful, awesome feedback. Last little request, help us grow our Twitter community here. We got some really cool content. I send out playout charts consistently, and I do the same thing on my Telegram as well. So if you prefer Telegram over Twitter, links down below. We also have a summer sale. Be sure to use our coupon code that's also linked down below if you want to become a better trader and join my trading academy. All right, so here's what we want to do looking at XRP. Excuse me. What we want to talk about is obviously, well, the fair value gap, yes, but let's go ahead and talk about a few other things first, because that's just kind of like the stark reality. Fair value gaps, keep in mind, are not 100% guaranteed that they're going to get filled, but typically I would say roughly half of the gaps get filled for the most part. And we'll see if that's a possibility here. So what we want to look at, first of all, though, is the previous support and resistance level. So we can see here 0.786 on Fibonacci is pretty concurrent in a lot of ways with this support level here. So we see the price action wicked up there multiple times to that range of roughly about 54 cents and consistently got rejected. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 times before the price drove it straight through. Keep in mind this is a fundamental catalyst where the price action pushed really high right there, but it's still something nonetheless that you need to recognize that was a resistance level that was difficult to pass. We had this ascending trend essentially working with the price action. Now, what usually happens is those resistance levels become support levels. So if the price were to pull back to that level, 0.786 should prove as a support level and range between 54 and 55 cents. So my speculation is if the price does continue to pull back, that would be an area in which we'll see the price bounce. Again, there's probably some liquidity there. In fact, if we take a look at the 4 hour, there's likely some liquidity as well in the current range we're in. Okay, so we're past that zone. This could be the tentative bottom, but it's no guarantee. So, if I were to swing trade this, I would have multiple entries, one at the current target, and then a second one at 55, possibly even one down as low as, what is it? I think it was 47, 48 cents. And get multiple entries on the way down just in case. And if not, those don't get filled, no big deal. We got some skin in the game. We can catch this next increase. Okay. So that's kind of where we're at there. So again, potential pullback makes sense. Now, what we could see also, because this is a very common characteristic too, you can see this 0.5 on Fibonacci held as a support level for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 attempts. All right. So 10 out of 10, it was successful, and then it totally lost its bottom. Right. So that tells us that was a previous support level, therefore it turned resistance. Okay, so 69 cents would be a likely profit target, or just below that. I get the question a lot, how do I set your profit targets? And the key takeaway here is that keep them below Fibonacci retracement levels to ensure that you get filled. Never put it right at that level, because oftentimes the price will wake up and just reject instantly at that round number. Also to note too, round numbers are more likely to get filled than not. So if you're in order and there's a larger order ahead of you, they'll get filled and you won't. So it's always best to do like fractions just below a standard level. So, instead of 69 cents, maybe do 68.9, something like that. Okay. All right. So just kind of some friendly advice. So that's kind of where we're at there. That's kind of the consensus here where we're at presently. I feel like we're going to see resistance here. So the price does come up, a likely rejection down here to fill that gap, bounce off 0.786 and increase. That's kind of just what the chart is telling us here so far, tentatively. Let's see if there's anything else that's telling here. We're below 50 on the RSI. What do you know? That will work as a resistance. The price comes up, right there at that 69-cent mark, we'll probably see rejection. Okay. Keep in mind we are increasing the money flow into this coin, so that could offset that as well. But generally speaking, we're not in a position right now where we want to just expect the price to shoot up from here. Okay. It'll likely continue lower. And again, a lot of this is contingent on Bitcoin losing 29,500. That's a key level support for Bitcoin. It's currently sustaining itself above that 29.8, which is awesome because we opened, I think, yesterday or this morning at 28,800, right? So again, the recent 24 hours has been very interesting for Bitcoin, but it's finally showing some success, and XRP is mildly successful today. Okay, all right. Not quite what we're looking for, but still in the ballpark. We've also got the 50-day SMA working itself up. That could be a new ascending trend we want to pay attention to, but in truth, the 200 is more likely to continue up and hold the price action in place. All right, so let's go ahead and undo that and look at the 4-hour time frame and kind of see what's going on here. So with the 4-hour time frame, we can see that we're below some key level resistances here, whereas the 200's ascending and the 50's working its way down. This is commonly referred to as a death cross. I don't subscribe to that terminology. I don't love it. And you got to recognize that this doesn't necessarily mean the price is going to drop because it happens. It implies the price comes up to that level, it could get rejected. So a good take profit target might be 66 cents and concurrently somewhere in the 68-cent range. Okay, that's how I'd set my profit targets. That being said, 4-hour time frame, if we look at some other situations here, we can see we broke above 50 tentatively on the RSI, but if you've seen previously, it has a tendency of rejecting right there at the 52, 53 mark. So I'm not convinced that we are above this level here just yet. This descending trend hasn't broken through yet. Okay, so we can kind of see this descending trend working its way down, and we need to recognize that we haven't broken through that level yet either. And if you can see, it makes sense for there to be a profit target right there, because that's right where the price could turn around. MACD did converge here recently, but that's not like a new one, so we don't really need to worry about that. Not a big deal there. And if we take a look at the 1 hour, let's go and wrap this up here. 1 hour time frame is kind of telling us that we are still descending, I wouldn't say adversely, but just not great, right? We're constantly making lower highs. Try not to trade into lower highs. So ideally what we do is you wait for the price action to kind of come over here. If it consolidates here and it can stay there, then you take that trade instead of buying here and hoping for the best. Okay. Again, you have multiple entries on a swing trade, different story altogether. That's how I prefer to trade, and that's why we're taking some healthy profits. But on the same accord, if your risk tolerance is a lot different than mine, and you're not willing to see that large fluctuation in price, you may want to take some profit quickly and make sure that you take the profit before that resistance level, roughly about 66 cents. Okay, so again, we could draw out some smaller Fibonacci retracement levels, and you'll probably see that little concurrence there, where that level there is probably right there. There she is, right there, about 65.7 cents as a round number, but 66 is pretty realistic. So again, just some little things to kind of think about if you're looking at Fibonacci, and it's done me well over the years, so I tend to enjoy what it does for us here. So taking a look here at the hourly, this is concurrent with Bitcoin. We can see a 7 on TD sequential, so there's a potential for the price action to turn itself around now. But you got to recognize too, this Fibonacci retracement level here is likely going to work as a support now that we've broken through that, right? So we see multiple retests of this range. Now that we're above it, it could very well work as a support and continue higher. That's why I'd like to get a little skin in the game if I were to consider a long position now, because if Bitcoin holds its current price action, XRP could follow suit. Just know XRP isn't known for massive movements, minus that one catalyst, of course, that was fundamental recently. Last but not least is Ichimoku Cloud. We are officially above the cloud, which we haven't been in quite some time. It's been, almost 2 weeks since we've been above the cloud. So this is a very positive sign here. And this is a pretty clean break too. So it really tells us that even though, yes, we have a larger descending trend that could work against us, the more shorter term time frame is working for us here, letting us know we have conversion line above the baseline, lagging spans free and clear the price section, and we're good to go here. So this to me kind of gives us mostly green lights to take a long position, but it's going to be a half in, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I'm going to have multiple entry targets on the way down. I'm going to have a tight take profit target, and then looser additional third, or like tertiary, fifth and sixth profit targets. Again, we can do that. We can structure that based on our CoreX trades because it has a fully automated trading bot that does this all for us. I just set the targets and we just sit back and let it fully automate the process. Really awesome. And I get the question too as well, how much percent do you want to take per trade? Well, with swing trades, a good 20% per chunk would be good. If you're doing more so like day trading and holding for shorter periods, you're going to go 60-70% on your first target and maybe 20, 10, 5, 5 for your latter half of trades, okay? So again, that's kind of more so just addressing the question I get a lot from community members. We do have potential or specific parameters in our Discord as well, so you know how to set up your trades. So just so you know, so you're going to be able to find that under announcements. And there's a section here that kind of explains how you should properly set up your CoreX leverage configuration. So be sure to check this out as well. All right, well, I hope you all have a good rest of your day. Thanks again so much for joining me. If you like this content, follow, like, subscribe, the whole 9 yards on YouTube. Also greatly appreciate a follow on Twitter as well, or X, and join us wherever possible. Link down below for our Crypto Cash Summer Sale 23. That is the coupon code. It's linked down below. Make sure to use that when you register. You'll lock in your rate for your entire membership. Okay, awesome stuff. This only happens once a year, so take advantage. Thanks again for joining me here, and congrats again to our community members for some awesome profits. Have a good rest of your day. We'll see you soon.